Hello, I'm going to talk to you a bit today about the maker movement. This is about the presentation I recently went to at the University of Alberta as part of my EDU 210 class, which is our Technologies in Education. Now you're probably wondering, what is the maker movement? In short, maker movement is trying to combat this idea that we have gone away from making things for ourselves, whether it be the things that we see in a grocery store that are all pre-packaged for us, like our breads, soups, muffins, you name it, or something like our furniture that we build, that is all put together for us essentially without any idea of how it was joined together. Another example would be our computer programs, which are all using user-friendly interfaces but don't show the user all the coding that went into it to develop it. So the maker movement is this idea that we have to start making things for ourselves again. As a theory, it is a constructionist theory, which takes into account the aspects of constructionism, which is this idea, the cognitive idea, that we need to build upon our previous knowledge, construct future knowledge for ourselves, adding to that we need to physically build something so we can learn it. So building is the key to learning. With that said, we also learn from our mistakes, which means we have to allow our students to make mistakes at first so that it can be successful later. And as teachers, we have to let our students see us making mistakes so they know it's okay, and that's how we can build upon our learning. So at the heart of it all, it's student-centered learning, and it's about creating your own knowledge along with building something. So examples of maker champions would be MacGyver, who constructed things out of everyday household items to get himself out of a dangerous situation. Minecraft, which is limited only to your imagination on what you can build based on essentially blocks. And Tinkerer, which is a Marvel supervillain who was able to do evil plots using advanced knowledge of engineering for the purpose of evil. So these would all be champions of the maker movement. Now, to summarize, the maker idea is this idea that we need to think about something for ourselves. How does it work? And once we have an idea of how it works, we need to be building something or taking it apart so that we can functionally learn and internalize knowledge for ourselves. Now, the maker event that I attended was Squishy Circuits, and this was put on by St. Thomas University, and they took away from traditional RCL circuits in order to play with dough and do the same thing that a circuit board would do, but with dough that they made themselves. Now, the advantages to this were that it was low cost and it's highly interactive. Everyone can be involved in your classroom, so it's a very desirable thing. Unlike the traditional circuit board, you have only so many copper wires, switches, batteries, they're all expensive, compared to this conductive dough, which, by the way, they give you the recipe for online on their site, and you can make it yourself, and everyone can be involved. Also, it takes away this idea that electricity is just in wires, that's the only place it exists, and it puts this dough there instead, where students can physically say, hey, this is happening through this dough, and it's a real tangible thing. I can work with it in my hands. It's not something mysterious that's going on in wires. So I would use this in my own classroom as a way to teach traditional RCL circuits in a more interactive and constructionist way. So we can see we have our traditional circuit, and as opposed, we have our squishy circuit. And again, I'll emphasize, it's a lot more fun to play with. So in conclusion, it's all about less us teaching them and pouring the knowledge into their heads, and more of them constructing the knowledge for themselves. Thank you.